Okie dokie, welcome to the north. If you're already in the north, welcome to my channel. We will get to talking about cannabis, medicine, and higher learning, and feeding your need with weed later. If you're up in BC, your color may look a little off. You may be seeing red as green, and we'll talk more about this group later and all their stations and their programming. Zoom in a lot closer. And like the color with my shirt, when you look at blue, it does seem a little white, and we gotta change that because we got more than one color in the rainbow, and everybody knows that. So, if you partake, make sure you call a cab. This is for the Buffalo area, the Ontario, like the New York, Buffalo, and Niagara, Hamilton region across Canada and the U.S. They've got plenty of drivers, and it's not like they have to send drivers across the border to get you. They've got local drivers wherever you are in those regions, and lots of places have those. So if you get a little too don't get behind the wheel. More poems later, and onto the West, because I'm too radically lefty, but I'm a moderate. My conservative friend out west tells me no more politics, please. So I'm gonna try to make things a little more fun to watch and get a little less heavy on things. And why? Because she's one of the boomers out there, and I know a few of them, and she spent 5 hours on hold with the Canadian Revenue Agency trying to get this relief aid that she was promised after all the jobs out there for boomers who were working on pipes to facilitate the growth of an industry, and now they want to switch to build hydro dams. However, this is still happening on that treaty land, and we still have to deal with that treaty before we can move forward. So yeah, boo earns indeed all around. If you're not sure about what's going on with that dam, look up the Site C dam in BC. And I'm sure everybody's looked into gas lines if they're interested in that. And we all have our opinions. Uh, I think that community and people really coming together as a country is what countries need, though. So, I won't go into two sides of the debates, and what had me so upset that Sunday, after I'd woke up after my repast after brunch. You need a little nap sometimes after a heavy meal, and not that I ate heavily, but for me it may have been because of my eating habits. Um, so I won't go into what that was so much because that's really RCMP police business, and there have been a lot of murders uh, overall, like around the world, that have been going unsolved and oftentimes unreported. And so what I wanted to talk about was a lot more of missing persons, and what kind of action can be taken and what kind of action is being taken. So hats off, because in Alberta there were two men killed near what's presumably uh, their Dodge Ram 1500 series, near this rural road by Pierogi Town, just North Edmonton. It's not called Pierogi Town. It's a pierogi capital. It's Granton, Granton, Alberta, 20 clicks north of Edmonton, just on one of the rural roads, the rural highways near near that uh, near that town. There was uh, two. There was anyway. You can look that up as the police reports come out. But um, there was that, and also in I think closer to the Middle East, the Mid Eastern, no, Midwestern. What part of the world are we in? No, we're over here. The Midwestern part of Canada. Uh, there were also two hunters who were murdered, and there's ongoing investigations there. Um, and those were two Métis hunters. Uh, so we have a lot of really messed up stuff going on in the world. Coming back to what's going on with workers, because they're they're not getting they are not getting their relief uh, taxes from the revenue agency, because they're not getting through. There's so high of a volume of call-ins that I don't think they can handle it all. Even if relief was supposed to go out, which, by the way, I heard there was relief to uh, the any for any card carrying off res natives. Those are people that have indigenous status but do not live on residence. They were getting like a bunch of relief money to them, but when that boils down, the estimation is about $30 to person, and so I'm not sure how much that helps them, or if they're going to be thankful for some government relief or not. Trying to live in the cities and keep up their own homes and find work and stuff. It's not always hard for everyone, and especially when you're not getting a whole lot of relief aid. Which is why communities have to pull together. So, those boomers, they need jobs. So we need to find sustainable jobs that help those people. And I'm gonna, calm my roll, slow my roll, until I hear more directly from the West, because I do have people that I know out there, and my position may not be recognized yet, but I'll go into that in this next video. And let me know if you like this contrast, and I can do some other odd things, or maybe fix this. I don't know. Maybe it's. I don't know. Did you fix it already? Is your color looking off, or I don't know. Maybe I've got it's too bright. I don't know. Back with more later on what the heck did. Oops, I'm dropping my stones. No, these are not official sacred feathers or anything. Those are just part of my decoration on my hat. But we will talk more about what this is, and then maybe some people can decide if they're gonna accept me wearing that or not. Till next one.